Do you feel stuck because you're waiting on somebody to help you out? Or maybe you're relying on the right circumstances to change your life? Today, I'm here to tell you, stop waiting, stop depending. It's time for you to take control of your own life. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you now, you'll never know the strength that you have until standing on your own is your only option. Have you ever waited for somebody to come through for you? A friend, a partner, or even your own family, only to be disappointed? Think about this. A student waits for their study group to start a project. Days pass and no one takes the initiative. The deadline approaches and the student feels anxious. In the end, they rush to complete the project alone. Why? Because they waited instead of taking charge from the start. The reality is, when you depend on others, you're gambling with your own future. People have their own priorities. If you want something done, you need to take the wheel. Here's the truth about circumstances. Many of us depend on circumstances to motivate us, waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, or even the right mood. For example, think about fitness. How often do people say, I'll start working out when I feel more motivated? The problem is, motivation is fleeting. What you really need is discipline. Don't wait for the right moment. Create the moment. Here's a tip. Instead of waiting for your circumstances to change, take small steps daily. Progress is more important than perfection. Here's the hard truth. People will let you down. Not because they're bad people, but because they have their own battles to fight. People will prioritize their own selves over you. That's just the nature of humanity. For example, imagine relying on a friend to help you start a business. You wait for them to bring ideas, do the research, and contribute. But they're busy with their own lives. And suddenly, you're stuck waiting for someone who isn't coming. The harsh truth is, no one will care about your dreams as much as you do. Your success is your own responsibility. You can't build an empire with people who aren't even building themselves. So, how does somebody break free from dependency? And the answer to that question is, you build self-reliance. Let's make this more relatable. Picture this. You want to start a side hustle, but you're waiting for a friend to join you. Weeks turn into months, and those months can eventually turn into years. And nothing happens because you're waiting for them to be ready. In reality, the only person stopping you is really only you. Instead of waiting, imagine you take the first step. Imagine you take initiative. You start doing the research. You start to build, and you start to make progress. Suddenly, your momentum attracts others who want to help. Not because you waited, but because you acted. When you rely on yourself, you stop waiting for things to happen, and you start making things happen. When you become your own biggest supporter, you become unstoppable. Here goes some practical tips for building self-reliance. Number 1, you want to start small. Begin with tasks that you usually wait for others to do. Take initiative. It's time to stop waiting and start doing. Number 2, set boundaries. Learn to say no to things that drain your energy and focus on what matters most to you. It's all right to say no. Yeah, you might hurt some feelings, but that's okay. Everybody's not going to agree with you. Everybody's not going to be able to come with you to the top. Everybody's not going to be able to understand your vision, because it's your vision for a reason, not theirs. Number 3, celebrate small wins. Every step you take on your own builds confidence. You want to cherish these moments. Live in the present moment and soak in all of these moments. But most importantly, you want to allow these moments to constantly remind you of why you're doing what you're doing, why you started to take initiative. Because all of this is just going to help you build more and more confidence within yourself. And it's going to allow you to trust in yourself and help you stop depending on other people, things, or circumstances. Something else that's very important for us to realize when it comes to trying to build self-reliance and self-confidence within ourselves is realizing that we are enough. One of the biggest fears that we have is that we're not enough. That's why we depend on others to validate us. For example, you might rely on your partner to make you feel loved, your boss to make you feel capable, or social media likes to make you feel valued. But what happens when those things start to disappear? Now you're just stuck with yourself. And if you don't have that self-confidence, that self-reliance within yourself, then those negative, self-doubtful thoughts can start to take over. Something I want y'all to remember: you are already enough. You have everything you need within you to succeed. You won't always be motivated, but you can always be disciplined. You know, if you've been waiting for a sign to stop depending on others, this is it. Stop waiting for somebody to save you. Stop depending on motivation, luck, or external validation. Take action now. Remember, life isn't about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens. Be the hero of your own story, because nobody else is coming to do it for you. You know, and the last thing I want y'all to remember is that your life is your responsibility. So own it.